Hello everyone, I am Mauna Narmani. Welcome back to my channel. In the previous videos we have seen the working of while loop and do while loop. In this video we'll see the working of last looping technique in C, that is for loop. A for loop is another entry controlled loop. It is an entry controlled loop because the condition is checked at the beginning. The for loop executes the block of statements repeatedly till the condition is true. Once the condition becomes false, the loop terminates and the program execution continues with the statements immediately following the body of for loop. Let's check the syntax. So the syntax of for loop is as follows. For initialization, semicolon, condition, semicolon, increment or decrement. So the for loop consists of three parts: initialization, condition, increment or decrement. All these three parts are separated by semicolon. Opening and closing brace within that consist of the statements of a for loop and a statement X. Execution of for loop is quite different from while and do while. Let's check how the for loop works. First, initialization is done. When the for loop starts executing, the first initialization is done. Once the initialization is done, the condition is checked. After initializing a variable, a condition is checked. If the condition is true, as with every looping technique, the condition is evaluated for either true or false. If the condition is true, enter into the body of for, execute all the statements present in this body of for loop. Check the condition is true, enter into the body of for and execute all the statements within the body of for loop. After executing all the statements within the body of for, increment or decrement. Perform increment or decrement operation. After performing increment or decrement operation, once again check for the condition. If the condition is true, enter into the body of for, execute all the statements, again increment or decrement. After incrementing or decrementing, check for the condition. Condition is true, execute all the statements present in the body of for. So this continues. Condition is checked, statements are executed, increment or decrement is performed. Again the condition is checked. If the condition is true, statements are executed. Again go for increment or decrement. Check for the condition is true, execute the statements, increment or decrement. So these things goes on executing repeatedly till the condition is true. Once the condition is false, the statements within this body of loop are not executed. The program execution continues from statement X. This execution of statements within the body of loop executes till this condition is true. Once the condition becomes false, the program execution continues from statement X. So we have seen initialization, condition, increment or decrement. Let's check what does it mean. Initialization is a counter which will be assigned with initial value. So we must specify what is the initial value for which the loop must start execution. So the initial value can be 1, it can be 0, it can be 5. So these values are assigned to some initial variable like I is equal to 1, I is equal to 0, n is equal to 5, etc. So this initialization is a counter where the initial value is assigned. Coming to the second part, condition. Here the conditional expression on which the number of iteration depends. So based on this condition, how many times the body of for loop execute depends. It determines when the loop will execute. So this condition determines how many times all the statements within the body of for loop will execute, and when the condition becomes false, the loop will exit. If the condition is true, the body of for loop will be executed. If the condition is false, the loop exits. So the condition can be as such: I is less than n, I is less than or equal to 5, etc. The condition is based on the application. The third part is increment or decrement. So here the counter is either incremented or decremented. It increments or decrements the expression for counter like I plus plus, I minus minus based on the application. The flowchart for loop is as follows. The for loop is represented in this type of figure, hexagonal figure. Initialization condition, increment or decrement takes place. The condition is checked. True, execute the body of for loop. Go back, increment, check the condition. Condition is true. Execute the statements within the body of for. Go back, increment or decrement, check for the condition. So here a sort of loop is created when the condition is true. Once the condition is false, the control directly comes to statement X and the program execution continues from statement X. Let's check a simple program on for loop which prints numbers from 1 to 4 using for loop. So this is a program. As you can see, there is a simple program which consists of just these two statements. I is a variable of type integer. Here initialization of I is equal to 1. So we must start our counter from 1. The value must starts from 1. Therefore, the initialization here is I is equal to 1. The condition to be checked here is I less than or equal to 4. Till the I value is less than or equal to 4, all the statements within this body of for loop must be executed. And the increment, here we are performing increment operation, so I plus plus. Increment the value of I, check for the condition. If the condition is true, print the value of I. Once again increment the value of I, check the condition. If the condition is true, print this statement. So this continues till this I less than or equal to 4 is true. Once this condition becomes false, the statements within this body of for is not executed and the program terminates. Let's run and check the output. So as you can see, the numbers from 1 to 4 are printed. The initial value of I is 1. 1 is less than or equal to 4. The condition is true. Enter into the body of for. Print the value of I. I value 1 is printed. After printing the value of I plus plus statement is executed. I is incremented. Now the I value is 2. Once again check for the condition 2 less than or equal to 4. The condition is true. Enter into the body of for. Print the value of I. I is printed. Once again increment I. So this continues till I is less than or equal to 4. Once this condition becomes false, the program terminates. Let's check how that program is executed. So initialization is I is equal to 1. So the initialization is 1. The counter starts from 1. Checks for the condition I value is 1. 1 is less than or equal to 4. The condition is true. Enters into the body of for where it prints the value of I. There is %d/n/n tells the cursor to come to the next line. In the place of %d, I value is printed. The current I value is 1, so 1 will be printed. After printing 1, the increment is executed where I is incremented I plus plus. So the I value was 1. After incrementing I value, the I value now is 2. After incrementing I value, check the condition. I value now is 2. 2 less than or equal to 4. The condition is true. Once the condition is true, enter into the body of for, execute the statements within the body of for. So the statement here is printing the value of I. The value of I is now 2, so print the value of I as 2. After executing this statement, go back and perform I plus plus. Now after incrementing I plus plus, the I value becomes 3. Check for the condition. Now the I value is 3. 3 less than or equal to 4. Yes, the condition is true. Enter into the body of for. Execute this statement. So this statement prints the value of I. Now the value of I is 3. 3 is printed. After printing the value of I, go back and execute I plus plus. After executing I++, now the value of I is 4. Check for the condition 4 less than or equal to 4. Yes, the condition is true. 4 is equal to 4. Enter into the body of 4. Print the value of I. Now the value of I is 4. So 4 is printed. After printing 4, go back and increment the value of I. Now the I value becomes 5. Check for the condition 5 less than or equal to 4. No, the condition is false. 5 is not less than or equal to 4. This condition becomes false, and the statement, when this condition is false, the statements within this body of 4 is not executed and it comes out of for loop and the program terminates. 5 less than or equal to 4, the condition becomes false and the program terminates. This is how the for loop executes. These are the references. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Do like, share and subscribe. Thank you.